Well, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I decided to do a video that you guys have been asking for recently quite a bit. A lot of you guys have been asking for videos like I have done in the past, sort of big sister videos where I talk about uncomfortable things or sexual things or societal things, and we just discuss it together. So I thought that's what we could do. I thought it was an appropriate time to talk about this kind of stuff as well, because it is October, and not only is October the spookiest time of the year, my favorite time of the year, but also it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month! Yay! Hence the reason why I have a shirt that says boobies, like you'd spell it out on a calculator. Yas! Check them titties, y'all. Guys and girls included. I'll put a link in the description box so that you can know how to properly check yourself, check others, if you know what I mean, with consent. I really wanted to do this especially since it's just the media and the news has been such like a shitty thing in the last, well, it feels like a year, that I feel like this weight on my shoulders all the time. Like I just can't get out of a funk that I feel when I get on Twitter or Instagram and see like the next thing that Donald Trump did to piss me off in some way or like ruin society as a whole in America. So I just thought instead of like getting bogged down by all of it, I would just answer questions that people want to have answers for. So we're gonna do that. Yas. First question, and question that I got the most upvotes for. How do you correctly explain feminism to guys who think being a feminist means being gay and hating all men? They just believe that it's all about like rights for women that also somehow degrade men in some way, when in reality feminism is the belief that men and women should be equal, and that femininity doesn't have to be toxic or something to be ashamed of, i.e. it's okay for men to show emotions, it's okay for men to feel vulnerable, or like they don't have it all together all the time. That's something that goes along with being a feminist as well. So I think if you're trying to like explain why feminism is also important to men, that can be the easiest way to say feminism is not about hating men. Or like making men feel lesser than women. But at the same time, I have trouble saying you should care about feminism because it also benefits men. Because like, as a human being, wouldn't you just want to be appreciated as a woman and not have to have like an excuse for men to see you as human? I don't know, I struggle with that, where I'm like, yes, feminism 100% benefits men, because it takes away a lot of like the mental health stigma that men feel, like they need to be these like hunter-gatherer, strong, primal men that like have everything together and are like the head of the household or whatever. And like it's like, yeah, women can take on those responsibilities too, and they do, and they kill it, and they're amazing. So like, listen, it benefits you. But then I'm also like, it shouldn't have to benefit you. I don't even know why you would consider like being gay because you're a feminist. I don't really get that at all in any way, although I feel like people who go through the struggle of coming to terms with their sexual identity probably also understand being put down because of your gender. Like, you know, that's just empathy. I think if you have to teach someone empathy or understanding why women want to be considered human, then maybe they're a lost cause in the first place. I think in general, like, we as ladies all need to agree that we're not gonna date, have sex with, or entertain men who don't appreciate strong women or women who have a voice. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to be the loudest voice in the room or the most like headstrong person, but it does mean that they need to respect women. And if they're not respecting you, you don't let them in your car, your bed, or your heart. Yeah, I need to make t-shirts out of that. Another question that was highly requested, something that I got quite a bit of, was kind of an age-related question. What age do you think is the best age to get a boyfriend / partner in general? And that's, you know, tough question. I got that a lot in different facets. Like, what age do you think it's okay to start having sex? What age do you think it's okay to start going on dates with people? In general, I'll say this. I'm not, you know, someone who knows all of the answers to everything, but one thing I do know is that love and relationships and dating is something entirely universal, but also incredibly personal. So it's something that you have to figure out for yourself. Like, I had my first serious boyfriend when I was like 16 going into 17, but like primarily 17. And we dated for a very long time. I wasn't necessarily the most happy in that relationship. I would say that my first like true, real, adult, actual relationship is the one that I have with Will. And we started dating when I was 19. So, you know, I think that's something that you gotta realize, is that not all relationships that you start when you're younger always end up being like the relationship that you're excited about. Don't get so intimidated and bogged down with the idea of finding someone when you're young, like very young. Because it doesn't always last, and it's not always worth it. And it's not always worth the pain of being like, why doesn't someone like me at 17? It's because, like, you know, you still gotta figure yourself out at 17. Or maybe you're the most self-assured person ever and everyone else around you is just too immature for you. That's also something that happens, you know? I felt like a lot of the people that I would have wanted to date in high school probably couldn't handle all this at that age, you know? And I think, to answer the question succinctly, the best age to find a boyfriend or a partner is whatever age you are at when you find your boyfriend or partner. Like, it's literally just a universe colliding sort of thing. If it happens at a certain time in your life, that is the time in which it's supposed to happen. Right? If you get together with someone at 17 that you think is going to be your soulmate, that's the right age for you. If you end up not dating someone or having sex until you're 25, but you finally find that person at 25, that's great. 35, I don't care. It's whatever age works for you. And this goes into the next question, which is very similar. I feel shitty because I turn 18 next Wednesday and still haven't had a boyfriend. Any advice on how not to feel shitty/mad about it? Here's the way that you don't feel shitty or mad about it. You're picky. You have an opinion about life, and you have an opinion about who you were meant to be with. So you shouldn't feel shitty about that. You should feel proud of that, and proud of the fact that you're not settling for someone, you are selecting. Boom. Next question. I got lots of these questions too, and I love these questions because I'm all about some freaky deaky stuff. This isn't freaky deaky, but yeah, whatever. Okay, I want to be sexually active and I feel ready, but I don't have a boyfriend and I don't want to sleep with just anyone for my first time. Tips? I totally get where you're coming from, and I think a lot of young ladies and gentlemen feel this way. Like, they've been hyped up that virginity is this big thing that you want to share with someone, you want to have like an experience, and it's tough when like you haven't really found a person around you that's interesting, but you're also a horn dog that wants to get it on. I feel you. That was me in high school. I was like, anyone? Bueller? What's up? For the most part, what I can tell you is masturbation's a great thing. Enjoy your body solo dolo as much as possible, and that can help a lot. But also, I don't want to say go have sex with someone random, because I don't think that's necessarily healthy either, unless you're into that. You know, that's a very specific thing. If you're waiting for someone to make your first time feel special, then you need to keep waiting. Like, if that's something that you are looking forward to, then just be patient. It'll happen when it is meant to happen. If you're really just trying to get your rocks off and try to get that D, bro, then there are a lot of options for you. I do think there isn't anything wrong with like two mutual friends losing their virginities together, or like one friend kind of helping another friend figure out their sexuality, depending on how open you are. I never had a friend like that in high school, just so you know, or in, you know, college age era or whenever. But I think if I were in that position, I would think about finding a close friend to help me out with that, if that makes sense. As long as it doesn't make things weird. I don't know. I'm just trying to give you an option other than like wait patiently for Prince Charming. Prince Charming's dick. It is a waiting game. A lot of romance and sex and dating is just patience and like waiting for the right person to come along. Because I don't think you'll regret losing your virginity any which way. I don't give a shit how I lost my virginity. Like, I can't even tell you how little that like bears down on my mind. It doesn't matter anymore at all. Like, what matters now is that I have a healthy and happy sex life. And that's what you ultimately want in the world. Not to like check off a box or like put your virginity flag in like the spot where you lost it. You know what I mean? It's not about an accomplishment. It's about starting the process of having a very healthy sex relationship. Next question. This also got a lot of favorites. Help me with anxiety. I try to date people, and every time I let my anxiety get in the way, and now I'm forever alone. This is tough because I am an extrovert. I'm not someone that particularly suffers with anxiety, or maybe I have in the past, but I wasn't really totally in tune with the fact that I was. In general, you gotta know that the person that you're going on a date with is in the exact same place as you. Like, if that helps at all, like, and I know it's easy to say that, but it's so true. Like, regardless of how attractive that person is, or how great they smell, or how great their hair looks, or whatever it is that makes you super attracted to that person and nervous around them, like, they're in the exact same position as you. So don't feel intimidated, just make it like a camaraderie thing, you know? Like, we're in this together, bro. We're in this together. Next up, I had a whole category of questions related to birth control. So I thought I would kind of try to go through all of them as succinctly as possible. The first one that I got a lot was, how do I get birth control without my parents knowing about it? Back in my day, only a couple years ago, the way to do that was a little place called Planned Parenthood, which helps you out enormously if you're trying to get some good birth control. At the time, when I was 18 and desperate to find birth control, it was the best and easiest option. So go support your local Planned Parenthood and go pick up some birth control. If you don't want to have to go on hormonal birth control, you can always buy condoms without your parents ever knowing. Just go to the grocery store and do it. Or your local Ralph's, CVS, wherever, and go get condoms. That's the easiest way to get birth control without your parents ever knowing. Next question, how to become more confident when talking to boys? I think that's an age thing, like a fine wine you develop as you get older, and I think you just stop giving a shit, partially. My social interactions are only with people that I want to have social interactions with, if that makes sense. And it's not, I don't know, I've kind of flipped it on its head, where instead of like me being honored to be talking to this person, it's kind of like, yeah, like I am honored to be talking to you, but also you're taking up my time and having a conversation with me. So you should be honored to have a conversation with me as well. It's like a tit for tat thing. It's like a mutual respect thing. And I think when you have that mentality going into a conversation with someone of the opposite gender, it helps to be like, I'm giving you a little fun today. Like, you know what, it's a blessing that you get to talk to me. I'm that cool. So as much as I'm really excited to talk to you, you should be excited to talk to me too. And I think if someone doesn't live up to that standard, it's kind of like what I said earlier, they're not worth your time, you know? And last but certainly not least, because this whole Q&A kind of spurred off of this question, how are you guarding your heart when this world seems to be failing? And in parentheses, Trump controlling birth control, Harvey Weinstein, mass shootings. It's tough, man, it's tough. It's very selfish of me to say I've been very affected by this, because obviously all of the people that have been affected in each of those news stories are more important than what I'm dealing with, you know, so much more important. They're at the forefront of all the terribleness that's going on. But it's hard as just like a human being to sit on like Twitter or Instagram when there's a 24-hour news cycle just telling you awful shit all the time. And I think what has helped me more than anything is stepping back and being like, what can I do? What little power do I have to do anything? Doing that, if it means donating somewhere, if it means like instead of getting a Postmates lunch or going to get that like delicious expensive salad down the street, I'm gonna donate that money to charity. Like whatever that thing is, donating your time. Like doing that and trying to be like the good in the world is helpful, but also shutting it down, like not looking at the stuff. I won't do the news app on my phone anymore. Like I'm turning off notifications. I will not have it. I will not have CNN like screaming in my face all the time. I can't do it. And when I do want to watch the news, I'm going to watch it how I want to watch it, which is unbiased as much as possible and from the sources that I trust, rather than big media conglomerates that have control over what people are thinking and saying. Like I don't believe in any of it anymore. It's all sensationalized and awful. So I'm just going to stay away from it, and that helps me. So I'm going to stay educated, I'm going to stay woke, but I'm not going to let it bury me in an avalanche of sadness, because the amount of sadness in the world is so heavy and awful. But then you've also got to think, we are in the most advanced time in human history. You know, of all the horrible things going on, this is the best it's ever been in the history of humanity, and we can only make it better. You know, we've got lots of stuff to do, but if that can give you a little sliver of hope, we're doing okay. You know, we're moving in the direction of better. You know, even if it feels like we're going backwards, the pendulum is always swinging. And once it swings back the other way, oh honey, it's gonna be a delightful utopian society, hopefully.